Not for the faint of heart or the faint of health, and certainly not for the good of taste.
Nice. So, hey everybody, it's me and Blue, and we are back with, I put the movie away. I shouldn't have done that. But,
Turkey. Go get it.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Grab it. It's a good one. I'll get us ready.
There we go. Okay, we did Meat Weed America. Not just Meat Weed America, Aidan Dillard's Meat Weed America. Before we talk, Troma has a very good saying. It's not for the faint of heart, faint of health, and certainly not for the good of taste. So that is this movie in a nutshell. We're going to go into spoilers. It's about weed. It was made in 2007. So, keep in mind, it was made in 2007, so there is a subplot that we'll get into about bin smoking. Okay. That is why that is in there. So, with that said, and before we get into it, lots of nudity, both male and female. Mm-hmm. And if it does bother you, there is hook hanging in it. Mm-hmm. And so, just as a heads up, there's hook hanging. We don't want y'all to be scarred if you find it. What did you think of this very certainly bizarre film?
Very bizarre, to say the least. But, interesting. I don't know. Decent plot, really, like, throughout the whole thing. And I told you while we were watching, I was like, this is kind of like a really well-plotted porn.
Yeah, it's
got a lot of female top nudity, too, so... Yeah,
it's female top nudity and male bottom nudity, which you really don't see, and I don't know...
I was surprised at how much there was, too. Yeah. Kind of nice.
But no bottom female nudity.
Yeah, I did notice that, too. Yeah.
So, it is almost like a porn... I've seen some porn where the acting is better, and this is the most porn-ish Troma film, and Troma released a softcore film that Lloyd was involved with called Sugar Cookies. And this has more nudity.
This has more nudity than that one.
Than that.
That's funny.
So, Meat Weed America, it is a sequel to Meat Weed Madness. You may be wondering, why did you two watch the sequel, not the original? Mm-hmm. The original's out of print. It's been out of print for a while. The sequel is not, which I find very strange. And Aidan Dillard also did Bikini Swamp Girl Massacre. We may do that later if she thought this was interesting. That one, though, there's no weed involved. It's people are being murdered in, like, New Orleans, I think. But, yeah, it's...
New Orleans. That sounds great.
Yeah, or the swamps. Might be Florida, now that I think about it, because that would make more sense. Yeah, Everglades. So, my thought on this movie, I don't hate it. I don't love it either.
That's fair to say. Yeah, definitely. Somewhere in the middle.
It's somewhere in the middle. I will say this time watching it, though, it makes a bit more sense. I don't smoke, I don't drink, so some of it is lost on me. The plot, because I don't think we've got into it, is meat weed is made out of male foreskins that is rolled up and smoked.
Yes.
I'm not a smoker, I don't think that can happen, but you never know. And the one you won't know is the hemtress that they find in New York. That is famous Troma Gyno-American Debbie Rochon. She's a super Tromette, appeared in a lot of their movies in the late 90s, early 2000s. What's weird is when they get to New York, you can clearly tell a different group was shooting things. Because it goes from, like us filming in a house like this in New York, to where they're shooting outside of stuff, and they're shooting all around this house in, I'm going to assume, North Carolina.
Probably.
And you can tell that's where things are being shot. And in New York, it's just inside. That's it. You never go outside.
And that makes sense, especially if they didn't actually go to New York to be able to film it.
They did go to... They had to have gone to New York, because in the credits it said New York. But also when they look out the window, I'm wondering if it was near a Troma location, because when they looked out a window and looked down, it was similar to if you were in the Troma building.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know if it was a Troma location that got turned into this, or what, but that's also how Lloyd and Debbie could appear, because they're both New York based.
Got it.
So, It's just, it is so fully weird involving, again, this stuff can be offensive, but there's,
highly offensive.
there's, like, terrorists that are jihadis, Hottie, and there's a bull running around that I'm sure makes sense if you've seen the first one.
Okay.
That I think is half bull, half man, that impregnates two of them.
Two of them.
Impregnates two of them, and they give birth to this thing, and there's an incest story. It's just all over the fucking place.
It really is.
Yeah. And my big problem with it was, the first time I watched it, I'm like, how do you make out the storyline? Because it's here. Now it's here. And then it goes back, and the editing is so fast that it was giving me a headache toward the end, especially the fight scene. Now, the thing is I told her this was a comedy. Which could be.
Could be.
But the thing that I find fascinating is it's not really a movie. Because when people are getting killed, you can see one character was getting killed, and you can see the women blowing in the straws to make the blood pop up. And in one scene, they just flat out see two hands just throw blood on a downed soldier. And at the end, this guy just gets up and goes, "Why did it have to be corn syrup?" and walks out.
Yeah.
So it's like, that part's kind of funny, but
it almost seems like a project film to where like they kind of wanted to keep in like some of their maybe like inside jokes or something, like, oh gosh, we can't just let that out because that was just a great part that the whole cast loved. And we just kind of wanted to keep it in there or something like that.
And to that effect, it almost feels like a student film. Like a student film shot with friends and family, which look, most filmmakers I know shoot movies with friends and family. Kevin Smith has made a history of shooting Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma with friends and family. But this is like a small North Carolina group of friends and their family got together to make I don't even want to say porn, because if they're family, that'd be fucking weird, but you know what I mean. Well, different strokes for different folks, I
would say, we're not going to kink shame.
Yeah, no kink shaming. No kink shaming. I will say the hardest part for me watching it wasn't the blood, wasn't the gore, it was the people getting put on hooks. And that happens twice. There's a guy at the beginning, and then there is a girl toward the end, and it wasn't so much her being on the hook, but the hook still in her when she was walking around.
Oh.
Yeah, because she had it. That got me. And I guess there's a third one that I absolutely hated, was the hand signal for being mentally disabled is used a lot, and the term for being mentally disabled is used a lot, and I hate that.
I do, yeah.
But, on the other hand...
I'll say, again, you gotta get past all of the
offensive.
Highly offensive things in here.
Yeah.
Because they do, they wrap towels around their heads, and those are the terrorists, and so, just get past all of the offensive stuff.
And keep in mind, 2007.
Right.
Things were...
We're still learning.
Still learning, yeah. Things were a bit different. I will say, though, it is way more progressive in that I'm pretty sure every character in the movie was bisexual. Pretty much,
because of all of the lower male nudity, I was like, okay, this is a very bi film.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and also the women, though, because the nuns, once again, the offensive thing.
Right, yeah.
But the quote-unquote nuns that turned out to be terrorists, or I think vice versa. Either way, there's 3 of them that end up having sex with men and women. So, very interesting to me that in 2007 this was out there. Now again, we're probably missing a part of the story with Meat Weed Madness. I had to look because America, I know, is the second one. So, again, this is the second in a trilogy of Aidan Dillard films. I don't own the first one. I think I still have Bikini Swamp Girl Massacre, and I do own this one. So, yeah, not all of his films are like this. Oh, before I forget, I told her she was in for a treat in the intro because it's Aidan Dillard and his floppy manhood just flopping around.
He flops it around.
He flops it around.
He flops it around a lot.
And he ends with dick in your face and just right toward the camera lens. I don't fucking know.
With a face on it.
With a face on it. And I think the face was like a president, maybe?
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Because this is 2007 and it's a DVD, no way in hell you've seen a Blu-ray. Because it's a DVD, like, the credits were all hard to read. The picture on the face was hard to see what it was. And, like, the end credits were really hard to read because everything had kind of like a grain around it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but that was our take on Meat Weed America. Would you recommend it?
I think you have to be in trauma films. Like, I think you have to again get over the offensive stuff, be okay with all of the nudity and bisexual types of things, and then, but yeah, it wasn't bad. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
You said it was a comedy, so.
Now, does it help to have knowledge of that background of weed and smoking it? Does that make it funnier to someone who, say, doesn't partake in stuff like that? I
don't know. I partake in stuff like that.
Yeah.
I smoke the meat weed.
It's legal here. So.
But I don't think so. I think anybody could enjoy that one.
Okay.
Whether, because you enjoy it and you don't smoke.
Right.
I enjoy it, I smoke.
I didn't know if it would make your enjoyment better of it.
Oh. Maybe.
Okay.
I think maybe if I didn't smoke, it wouldn't be as enjoyable.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, my thought, it's a middle-of-the-road trauma film, but if you want nudity to no end, go for it. If you are not easily offended, go for it. If you want a good trauma movie, Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town, this is not.
No.
No. This is, I told her this may be the worst trauma film
I'll say it's
that
not
we
very
do.
good.
Yeah.
But.
And when I say worst trauma film, it's that Chopper Chicks we started off up here.
Yeah.
And then this one's like way below camera frame.
Yes.
So, but that's the fun in going through these. Hopefully you'll come back and do some more.
Yeah. Again, just like you said, like a student film.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the stupid films that we used to make in high school. Where
Yeah.
we just dick around in our basement or something.
Yep.
So yeah.
And so next time, if she comes back and likes and doing this, it will be Chosen, the Legend of the Raven, which is a Crow knockoff.
Right.
Yep. So we will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.